Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is June 20th, 2023, and we are in the Old Testament book of Deuteronomy. We're going to read chapter 22, verse 13 to, I believe, 30 today, to the end of the chapter. Some laws on sexual morality. Some of this we've gotten before. We're just kind of adding some details, adding a little bit to it. Talking about a man is betrothed to a woman. What does betrothed means? Well, it kind of means that they're engaged. It's a little more complicated than that. Essentially, back then, if you're betrothed, you are essentially married, with the exception of you don't live together and you're not having sexual relations. But other than that, you're about as close to man and wife as you can get. When you actually marry them, then she moves in with the husband, and they have the sexual relations, and now they're officially married in the eyes of God. So what happens in between that? We're betrothed, we get to the wedding night, and the husband finds out the woman isn't a virgin after all. So she has committed adultery. Or the parents lied to him and said she was a virgin when she wasn't. So what is the recourse for the husband? Well, he accuses the wife. The wife's family either brings out the sheet from the bed that says, here it's stained, she was a virgin, and now the man is in the wrong. He has to pay 100 shekels, which is a heck of a lot of money back then, of silver, and he cannot divorce that woman at all. So essentially, her family now pretty much owns him. So there's some risk to him. Now, there's a little more risk to her, because if she can't produce that cloth and prove that she was a virgin, she's supposed to be stoned. That's the extremes on this. More than likely how that would work out, well, we see in the New Testament when Joseph finds out that Mary's pregnant, he says, you know what, I'm just going to let you go. We'll just go our separate ways. And then the angel appears to him and says, no, you need to raise this child. So that's probably more or less how it worked out in real life, because there was risks on both sides that they would come to an agreement and settle the matter that way. Talks about rape. A woman gets raped. Now, if she's raped in the city, there's something different than if she's raped in the country. And basically what it is hey, if you're in a city, think that you're in a place that's got a lot of people around you, and if you scream, people are going to hear you and they're going to come running to you. So if you're raped and nobody heard you scream because you didn't scream, then the woman technically is considered that, hey, she went along with it. If you're in the countryside or you're somewhere that's sparsely populated and you can scream your head off and nobody's hearing you, then that does not apply. Is that fair? Well, better than back then where they would have just stoned you because she was raped. So we're starting to see some victim rights in there, not quite as much as we have now, but for that period that was pretty progressive. And then it ends with you shouldn't have sexual relations with your father's wife. So let's go ahead and we're going to read this little section, 22, verse 13 to 30. If any man takes a wife and goes to her and detests her and charges her with shameful conduct and brings a bad name on her and says, I took this woman, and when I came to her I found she was not a virgin, then the father and the mother of the young woman shall take and bring out the evidence of the young woman's virginity to the elders of the city at the gate. And the young woman's father shall say to the elders, I gave my daughter to this man as wife, and he detests her. Now he has charged her with shameful conduct, saying, I found your daughter was not a virgin, and yet these are the evidences of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. Then the elders of that city shall take that man and punish him, and they shall fine him 100 shekels of silver, and give them to the father of the young woman, because he has brought a bad name on a virgin of Israel. And she shall be his wife. He cannot divorce her all his days. But if the thing is true, and evidence of virginity are not found for the young woman, then they shall bring out the young woman to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her to death with stones, because she has done a disgraceful thing in Israel, to play the harlot in her father's house. So you shall put away the evil among you. If a man is found lying with a woman married to a husband, then both of them shall die, the man that lay with the woman and the woman. So you shall put away the evil from Israel. If a young woman who is a virgin is betrothed to a husband, and a man finds her in the city and lies with her, then you shall bring them both out to the gate of that city, and you shall stone them to death with stones. The young woman because she did not cry out in the city, and the man because he humbled his neighbor's wife. So you shall put away the evil from among you. But if a man finds a betrothed young woman in the countryside, and the man forces her and lies with her, then only the man who lay with her shall die. But you shall do nothing to the young woman. There is in the young woman no sin deserving of death, for just as when a man rises against his neighbor and kills him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the countryside, and the betrothed young woman cried out, but there was no one to save her. If a man finds a young woman who is a virgin, who is not betrothed, and he seizes her and lies with her, and they are found out, then the man who lies with her shall give to the young woman's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he has humbled her. He shall not be permitted to divorce her all his days. A man shall not take his father's wife, nor uncover his father's bed. May God bless the reading of his word. May God bless you. Bye.